Welcome back to the Deep Dive. We take the source material you give us, the articles, the internal notes, the game recaps, and we really just cut straight to what matters.
Yeah, we try to get to the core of it.
And today, we are diving deep into the Toronto Maple Leafs. It's this organizational whirlwind that's happening, and frankly, it's kind of a contradictory mess, but maybe in the best way possible.
It's a total paradox, isn't it? The reports you sent over show a team that's, making these urgent midseason changes. They're dealing with a huge injury crisis.
Huge.
And yet somehow, despite all of that chaos, they're playing their best hockey of the season. It doesn't quite add up on the surface.
That's our mission today. We want to unpack that paradox. How is this team winning and winning big when everything behind the scenes seems to be, shifting and breaking?
Right.
We've got three big developments to look at. First, that quick coaching change that targeted a massive problem. Second, the injury crisis that basically crippled their defense and their goaltending.
And then third, the part that makes no sense. The winning streak that came right in the middle of all of it.
And we'll really dig into what these moves signal about Coach Craig Berub's system and maybe why all this turmoil is actually helping him.
It's a fascinating case study.
So if you're looking for a fast but really thorough look at what's going on in Toronto, you're in the right place. Before we jump in, though, just a quick ask.
Yeah, please do.
If you appreciate these deep dives, take a second to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel so you don't miss future insights, and drop a comment. Tell us what city you're listening from. We'd love to see where this conversation goes.
We really do.
Okay, let's get into it. Segment 1. The organizational response to failure. This was a sudden, almost surgical coaching change.
It really was. The message they sent on December 22nd was crystal clear. The power play wasn't just a problem anymore, it was an emergency.
Yeah, and the dismissal of assistant coach Mark Saver was, the sources called it a result of continued scrutiny. This wasn't something that happened overnight, but the final decision felt really swift.
Totally. And the numbers really tell the story, don't they?
Oh, they're brutal. The sources confirm it. At the time Saver was let go, Toronto was ranked dead last, not near the bottom, dead last in the NHL on the power play.
A dismal 13.3% conversion rate.
It's unbelievable.
Yeah.
We're talking 12 power play goals in the first 35 games. For a team with that much offensive firepower, with those contracts, it's just not sustainable.
It's not. And that kind of failure, it bleeds into other parts of the game. It
Yeah.
creates this pressure cooker. Your Stars, your Matthews, your Tavares, they can't score on the man advantage, so they start pressing during 5-on-5.
And it messes with the whole system.
Exactly. The failure wasn't just the stat. It was like contaminating their whole offensive identity. So the organization, they had to do something.
So the fix was immediate. Steve Sullivan pulled right up from the Toronto Marlies, their AHL team. And Coach Berube was really clear about it. He said Sullivan was brought in specifically for the power play.
He called him an offensive guy, said he'd bring a new voice and some different setups.
So what does that actually mean? What kind of tactical change can he bring?
Well, you look at his resume, right? The sources point this out. Over 1,000 NFL games. He's got management experience. He was even the Coyotes' interim GM for a bit.
Right.
So he's seen a lot. Tactically, when a power play with that much talent is failing that badly, it's usually because it's too static, too predictable. So Sullivan's job is almost certainly to introduce more movement, more complexity.
Get the pieces moving.
Yeah, get them moving. Even though the Marlies' power play wasn't elite this year, around 16%, they did rely on things like quick puck retrievals and rotation, things that could unlock this group.
But that brings up the big question, right? The analytical challenge here. If Sullivan's Marlies' power play wasn't exactly setting the world on fire either, wasn't this move more of a symbolic gesture, a signal of urgency, rather than a guaranteed fix?
That's a great question, and it's a real risk. You're right. I think the GM, Brad Living, basically admitted they just have got to get better. But the timing and what Berube said, it suggests they needed that new voice more than a proven system.
A shock to the system.
It's a shock to the system. The players were probably too comfortable, too predictable. Sullivan is disruption. And sometimes in the middle of a season, that's more valuable than a perfect playbook. It tells everyone that complacency is over.
So that's the first bit of chaos.
Yeah.
But just as they're making that fix, the physical side of things starts to just crumble.
Yeah, and that brings us straight to the next crisis. The defense and the goaltending just getting completely decimated.
This is where it goes from, organizational strategy to just pure survival mode.
day-to-day survival, exactly. The coaching change happens, and then almost immediately an injury bug just wipes out their defensive depth.
Let's start on the blue line, because it was devastating. Oliver Ekman-Larsson leaves the game against San Jose, ankle injury, and this isn't just, a sixth defenseman. He was a top-scoring D-man for them.
4 goals, 16 assists in 29 games. He moves the puck, he relieves pressure. Losing him is a huge deal.
And the timing couldn't have been worse. The defense was already, as the reports say, stretched thin. I mean, they're already without Chris Tanev, who's been out since November with a head and neck thing.
Right, and Brandon Carlo is out after surgery, Dakota Mermis also out. So when Ekman-Larsson goes down, you're suddenly asking your AHL call-ups and your third-pairing guys to play huge minutes against the other team's best players.
The structure is just being held together with tape at that point.
It really is, and the hits just kept on coming.
Yeah, the goaltending situation also hit crisis level.
It did. Joseph Woll, their number 1, goes on injured reserve. Sportsnet, I think it was their analyst Craig Button, confirmed he was out for the next stretch of games, including a big one against Edmonton.
And then their backup, Anthony Stolarz, was also unavailable.
Also hurt, so suddenly your net is just, it's wide open. They had to throw Dennis Hilded in as the starter, with an AHL guy, Artur Akhtyamov, backing him up.
This is usually the point where a team just completely unravels, right? You see a string of 6-2 losses, the psychology just collapses.
For sure.
But the sources we have really highlight an incredibly resilient performance from Hilda. He was under insane pressure.
He was nothing short of clutch. He makes 33 saves in a shootout loss to Montreal, which, shows he can handle the workload. But then the really defining moment, he gets his first ever NHL shutout.
Against Tampa Bay, 29 saves.
That's just, it's huge. And his performance, it wasn't just good stats, it stabilized the entire team. When your emergency goalie's playing lights out, it lets the makeshift defense in front of him just focus on the basics. They're not scrambling anymore.
There was a great quote about how his confidence just goes down the team. It gives everyone else confidence.
He really does.
And the team is still in the dark on a lot of this. Sportsnet reported that, maybe Ekman-Larsson's injury wasn't as bad as they first thought, but they're still waiting. So Berube isn't managing a roster. He's managing a day-to-day medical report.
Exactly. They have 0 roster stability, which means the defensive system has to be incredibly simple, incredibly disciplined. It has to work no matter who you plug into it.
And maybe that forced discipline, that forced simplicity, that brings us to the ultimate contradiction. Segment 3. The sudden, stunning turnaround.
Yes, it's astonishing.
Despite all this organizational chaos and physical damage, the Leafs suddenly found that full team effort they'd been looking for all season.
We have to remember the context here, too. The team was struggling badly in November, only 6 wins. They were sliding down the Eastern Conference standings. The pressure was really, really building.
Yeah, fans were starting to get worried. And then it was like a switch flipped.
A total switch. They go on the road and just tear through 3 legitimate playoff teams: the Penguins, the Panthers, and the Hurricanes.
All on the road. And the scores weren't close.
No. You can't argue with the numbers. They outscored those 3 teams 16-4. That's not luck. That's complete control in all 3 zones of the ice.
So this is the big question, the why.